Everyone, welcome to another. Well, this is not an AI conversation only. This will be a quantum conversation, and I'm joined today by one of, I think, well, for me, the leading mind in quantum computing. At least one of the most familiar, no, si Sir Bobby, Sir Bobby Corpus. Welcome to the conversation.
Salamat for inviting me, Doc Ligot. Ah, alam ko mukhang matagal na nating pinlano to.
Yeah,
Pero
this is a long time coming, diba? Yeah.
sige.
Tsaka this is also timely kasi there's gonna be, by the time people see this, there will be a quantum event, no, in
Yes,
April.
next week.
So yeah, hopefully, we get to air this
Mm,
right around the time of the event.
yeah.
Okay, sige. So anyway, as I said, uh, this will be my first quantum conversation.
Nice.
Which is perfect kasi nga I think AI is already, nauumay na nga yung mga tao sa AI but not necessarily quantum, no? So maybe we can start with that. But before that, maybe for the two people who don't know who you are, kasi sikat ka naman. Can you share a little bit of your background and what are you doing in the quantum space?
Okay. So, background, yung yung degree ko is in the physics now, so theoretical physics, and I graduated sa National Institute of Physics sa UP Diliman.
Yep.
Yung mga professor doon ngayon, mga kabatch ko yun dati. So, but during
Kala ko
the
mga
time,
estudyante mo dati. Kabatch naman pala.
okay, well, at least yung mga nasa higher level na. Like for example, si Dr. Eric Galapon, who is the um, lead figure sa physics community in terms of quantum computing. Actually, quantum mechanics, no? So, quantum computing kasi is wala pa talaga yan, no, sa ating curriculum. But ano um ano siya, nasa NIP siya ngayon. So well, when I was there, he was already first year masters. So more or
Mm,
less kabatch namin. So I was there, but during that time kasi my interest was in cosmology, general relativity. So yung quantum, hindi ko masyadong pinapansin yan dati. Kasi ano siya eh, um, yung mathematics niya is linear algebra. So hindi siya masyadong interesting sa akin during that time. Ang interest ko kasi is really more of the space-time, no, curve, so differential geometry.
right.
Now, tapos naging instructor ako dun sa physics NIP, and after that I did a very short stint lang sa UAP, no, because during that time there was a industrial engineering program sa UALP. Pero ano kasi yung ano ko talaga during that time, no, yung I was really passionate about uh, the Linux operating system, which was very new during that time. So kaya bumalik ako sa UP. uh, pero nawala na yung item ko sa physics. So napunta ako tuloy sa mathematics kasi may mga teachers ako doon, and they said na may item. So I spent there hindi ko na sabihin na year, ha? Pero I spent there mga 5 years din sa Department of Mathematics. Yeah, so Math, Math Institute pa yung tawag nung dati. Tapos,
Wala pa yung math building nun. Or is that the math building now?
andun na yung math building. Oo, andun na rin yung ASTI sa
Okay.
kabila lang. Tapos, so I came to the industry as an IT professional na. And then I've spent for maraming taon na rin, no? I think I'll be 20 plus 25 years na siguro sa industry. Um, tapos, nung 2012, 2007 kasi, um, I started to study quantum computing. Tapos someone discouraged me kasi sa isang isang tao na CTO of certain company is American. He said na that's too theoretical, na that will never happen. Sabi ko, sige kung ganun. Kasi tinanong niya ako what will you do? Where do you see yourself 5 years from now? Sabi ko, I will have a PhD in quantum computing. And then he discouraged me na. Anyway, after 10 years, 2017, I became, nakita ko yung mga um, news on quantum computing, yung mga pumapasok sa feed ko, sabi ko, probably it's time for me to revisit. So during that time, I was working in Singapore. And siyempre, wala yung family doon. The only thing I can do really, no, on the weekends is go to Orchard Road, no, and then tumitingin-tingin lang
Singapore.
doon.
Buhay Singapore, ah.
Oo. So, naisip ko, sige, it's time. So, I spent my weekends um, studying quantum computing and tapos may na-meet ako doon na isang quantum computing group. I think that was the first meet up they did. And I was fortunate to be part of that. May dalawang startup companies doon called Horizon Quantum Computing and Entropica. During that time, there was this startup, no? And now they're worth billions of dollars na. So even Horizon Quantum Computing is now trading sa US stock exchange. So anyway, I started Quantum Computing Philippines as a Facebook group. So initially, dalawa lang yung members. And then by so napunta ako sa New Zealand, was working there. Tapos I was continuing the advocacy. Uh, Initially kasi meet up namin was more of a face-to-face. Tapos pagdating sa New Zealand, meet up was more of Zoom na talaga. And bumalik ako, tapos nag-pandemic. So, napunta ako sa Globe. So, sa Globe, I was in
Globe, the telco.
dito sa data engineering. We did a lot of cool stuff there. And then, yung manager ko was very supportive about my advocacy sa quantum computing. So, he allowed me to use the rooms doon sa baba ng Globe, which are really nice rooms na. So, and then nag-pandemic, di ba? So, February, March, one month lang ako talaga dun sa Globe building na yan. And then puro na remote work until I resigned from Globe and went back to my New Zealand company kasi pwede palang mag-work remotely din. And so yun, so ngayon, by 2023, medyo napansin kami ng Department of Science and Technology. So they invited me to attend the first ever quantum science and technology road mapping. So nangyari to online lang kasi pandemic pa. Pandemic pa yata, no? Basta naalala ko parang pero online yun, no? And then napansin din kami ng One Quantum Community, which is a global quantum computing community, which gusto sana nilang mag-set up ng quantum computing group dito sa Philippines. So instead of starting from scratch, they just reach out to us kung pwede kami na yon. And we said yes na.
This is the org you also represent, di ba?
Yes,
Yung
the
Quantum.
One Quantum Philippines. In fact, ito yata yun eh. Nakalagay dito. But since we need to partner kasi with the DOST and other institutions, we need to be registered sa SEC, no? Para pag magpirma ng MOU, meron kami doon, no? Pero yung One Quantum kasi was very protective of their brand, no? They don't want us to have One Quantum Philippines talaga na registration. So, napilitan kaming Quantum Computing Society of the Philippines. And yun, so the first, meron kami mga hackathons, no? Every year. Started sa 2023. Halos ang dami palang nangyari sa 2023. Um, Nag-invest muna ako ng pera ko, personal pera dun para lang matuloy yung hackathon. It was in Cebu, Cebu Institute of Technology. Nag-invite kami ng five universities to participate. No, but before that there was mga 14-week lecture series. No, every Saturday tinuturuan namin sila ano yung mga fundamentals, no, from theory up to coding. So yun, now we are on our fourth hackathon, and it's already being done, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao. No? So yung partner namin ngayon is called ISC2, which is a cybersecurity certification community. But the first three hackathons, yung partner namin are DOSTs. The first one is the Quantum Innovation Lab. Second one is the National Language Processing Lab. And third one is the blockchain lab. So doon namin discuss yung blockchain implications, no, about quantum. So yun, and then we had our first dedicated, no, the first in the Philippines dedicated quantum computing conference. It was called QISTCon, and then it was
Yeah,
done.
I remember this. Very, ano to, di ba? Just a year ago? Or tama ba? Or,
Yes, oo, July
mm.
to. So yun, doon talaga nag-launch yung group namin na napunta na ano kami sa spotlight ba, and after that ang dami ng mga events, no, even actually before that nagsusulat pa ako yung mga ginagawa namin, no, lalagay sa Substack. Ngayon sobrang na namin daming ginagawa, hindi ko na maagapan magsulat. So marami nang nagre-reach out. So ngayon, meron kaming event sa sa DAP, no? Development Academy of the Philippines, na meron din tayong course doon, di ba? So, yun. So I'm very excited kasi it's going to be ang mga guests natin doon are government agencies that we've identified, no, as being impacted by quantum technology. Tapos yung mga industries din, no, uh, to raise awareness, and also cybersecurity part. Kaya not only DOST yung partner natin dito. The ICT Cybersecurity Bureau is our partner. So andun yung BSP, for example, mga banks, telcos, and other industries. Tapos sa academe, definitely, kasi kailangan natin ng talent pipeline. Kaya medyo also the blockchain community is represented there. Kaya excited.
Yeah. Seems like just in the span of a few years, sabi mo, most of your parang public-facing activities, parang 2023 lang. Actually, it parallels the rise of ano rin generative AI, di ba? Yan din yung year
Yeah, I
started.
remember October yun, di ba?
Oo, November 2022.
Oo.
And then yun na.
Tama, oo.
So halos sabay, no. Pero sige, it's actually, I think this is a big step that we're starting to talk more openly about it, as you mentioned, quantum computing and yung I guess maybe yon, can you start with that, the differences between studying quantum computing and studying quantum mechanics, which
Yeah,
my understanding is the theory behind it, no,
yes,
for
the
just for
theory behind it.
people, to
Oo.
appreciate.
Okay, so first and foremost, quantum computing is based on the theory of quantum mechanics, di ba? So just like our laptops, no, yung ginagamit natin is based on the theory of the electromagnetics. And also, may quantum component din dyan, no? Like the flow of electrons. Pero mostly ano yan, classical, no? Um, so the act of using a computer to do useful tasks, no, like computing, is also is a layer above. It's a layer above that. So the theory of quantum mechanics, ano siya, it will tell you na ano, we can do computation by leveraging this these properties, no? Like for example, superposition, entanglement, and there is uh, quantum tunneling, ano ba, interference, no? And of course, measurement din, no? So you have to measure the the output of your algorithm. So based on that, no, once you understand the concepts, then you can do quantum computing. You don't need to, kasi the computing part kasi, this is the part where you say, which is the marriage of the quantum and the computer science. So, ang ibig sabihin lang nito, nagko-compute na tayo ngayon using a different kind of, sabihin lang natin, paradigm na, which is the quantum computing, quantum,
Yeah,
using
like
quantum
a framework.
or
Pero
as
you
a
mentioned,
framework.
just to interject, a lot of it is linear algebra, which I'm sure a lot of people can relate with.
Definitely, oh,
Kasi yan din ang math behind the AI, di ba? Mga
tama, oo.
matrix and
Now, the difference
vectors.
between the AI and
Mm.
the, uh, simple lang, no? The math between the AI and the quantum computer is similar, no? The only difference is that ang ginagamit sa quantum computing, complex numbers. Yun lang. Kasi, kasi in quantum computing kasi, we create algorithms na by massaging, no, the probabilities. Now, kung titingnan mo, yung probabilities are numbers, no, that are greater than zero and between 0 and 1, di ba?
Yep.
Pero in quantum computing, you can cancel probabilities. Kaya you don't really call them probabilities. Na. You call them probability amplitudes. And then when you get the square of that number, the complex number, which becomes a real number, that's the probability of measuring your system in that
Mm.
in that state. So ganun siya. Yun lang yung difference nila.
Yeah. Maybe for the I guess the non-math people naman, no.
Hmm.
And maybe this is a way then to explain bakit ba tong quantum I won't say suddenly popular, pero it's gaining popularity.
Yes.
Um, in terms of practical implications, like if we're able to develop quantum computers, ano ba yung ano niya? Parang what is it compared to typical computers that we
Hmm.
understand
Sige.
or use, no?
So, okay, it turns out na itong quantum computing computers, first, they cannot replace our classical computer. No? So, like for example, you don't use a quantum computer to do word processing or create your presentations. No? The classical computer are the best dyan. No? Pero there are some certain problems kasi that were thought to be impossible to solve before, but are now actually solvable by a fault-tolerant quantum computer. No? So I have to qualify na fault-tolerant kasi fault tolerance is different from the quantum computers that we have right now. No? What we have right now are noisy intermediate state quantum computers. Now, let us say meron ka ng fault-tolerant quantum computer. May mga mathematical problems it can solve. No? that are impossible sa sa classical computer, no? Example, no? Bakit ang ating encryption is based on the RSA and the elliptic curve, no? Kasi hindi sila nasusolve ng ating mga supercomputers, no? Estimates for cracking those encryption is 300 trillion years, no? RSA 2048. So imagine mo, 300 trillion years is a long time, no? The age of the
300
universe.
trillion years.
Hmm.
Is longer than how the universe has
Yeah,
existed. Parang ganun.
13 billion years lang tayo, di ba? So ilang 13 billion years yon.
Oo.
So ibig sabihin, we are really very safe kapag ginamit natin yung RSA elliptic curve on the assumption na walang quantum computer.
Right.
Now, is kaya pala niyang i-solve yan. Um, ano na ngayon, no? We are now all at risk. Kahit sabihin natin na wala pa yung fault-tolerant quantum computer that is needed to crack that, no? Pero recent, no? Very recent announcement lang by Google. I remember March 31 yata yun, no? Wala pang 1 month. Meron silang a paper that they published, no? That they said na the amount of resources you need to crack the RSA elliptic curve has been reduced na drastically, no? Dati kasi you need millions of qubits. Ngayon, you only need about hundreds of thousands, no? Qubits. And based on their computation, to crack the uh, to crack the 256-bit elliptic curve that's being used in Bitcoin, no, and Ethereum, it only takes about 9 minutes, no? Assuming na yung machine nandun na. And because of that, no, yung years to quantum kasi was projected to be 2035, no? 2035 to 2039. Ngayon, ginawa na nilang 2029. That's already 3 years, di ba? So, kailangan i-migrate na talaga lahat in 3 years yung ating encryption. Kasi kung hindi, uh,
Nothing is safe anymore. Anything can be decrypted. Passwords,
not
account,
only that, no, marami nang kumukuha ng ating mga encrypted packets in the hope na they can decrypt it later.
like one day they will decrypt it. Yung
Oo.
traffic. Mm-mm.
Oo. So, syempre, kung ikaw yung gumagawa ng quantum computer with the hope of decrypting, hindi mo naman siguro sasabihin na mayroon na akong quantum computer that can decrypt, no? You would just keep it to yourself and enjoy the privilege.
Yeah.
Kumbaga.
I remember I don't know if you remember this, yung Google din to, yung Willow chip.
Yeah, Willow chip.
And then, and let me know, kasi this is the pop culture reference.
Oo.
Parang the way it worked, it was able to solve some problem, no? Some
Oo, naalala ko yan. It's a,
yeah, in
it is
under
at 2019, di ba?
oh, in under 5 minutes.
Oo.
And if you used classical computers, ganyan din mga 10
10,000
septillion
yata.
years or something
Oo.
like basta longer than the universe. Tapos wait, I want you to comment on this kasi one of the pop parang pop references is the fact that it was able to do it in just so many minutes in a way suggests the existence of a multiverse kasi
Ah,
parang na-leverage daw niya yung
tama,
uh,
tama.
multiple realities. Kumbaga, it solved it in multiple universes and
Tama,
was able to
oo.
do it. So, so of course, we wanna debunk or demystify yung mga ganyan, no?
Alam mo,
Or it's really suggestive, no?
alam mo, that is that is something that uh, e- even top physicists, uh, kasi may dalawang camps kasi yan eh.
Mhm.
Yung Copenhagen interpretation, which is yung sa grupo ni Niels Bohr, at
Yeah.
yung isa naman is the multiverse, no? Or the sa grupo ni Hugh Everett. So, sa interpretation ng quantum mechanics na ginagamit natin on day-to-day basis, ito yung tinatawag na Copenhagen interpretation. Pag meron kang pag meron kang quantum state, no, it will when you observe it, no, the act of observing, or also called measurement, will collapse the wave function into one of the component parts, no.
Ito
One
ba
of
yung particle versus wave na duality na, di ba classical ano yun? Classic issue na yun.
So ibig sabihin, di ba, particle, um, mga macroscopic things, no, like for example this one I'm holding
Mm.
is a siya, no, composed of particles. Pero kapag maliit na pala talaga yung mo at the quantum level, nagbe-behave na siya as a wave, no.
Ah,
Tapos
okay.
oo, tapos which means that for example pag may dalawang butas ka diyan, yung electron mo can actually go through both holes, no. So which means yung may dalawa kang holes, no? So state 1, state 2, ibig sabihin the the electron is in two states, no? Tapos pag
Simultaneously. Oh.
superposition tawag niyan. Tapos when you measure it, you will only find it in one state. Kaya yun yung sa Copenhagen interpretation, no?
Yeah.
Tapos ito namang sa
So wait,
sa
sa Copenhagen, there's no multiverse. Kumbaga,
walang multiverse.
they don't need a multiverse to
They
solve
don't have
that.
multiverse. Pero they cannot explain a why a quantum particle when you measure it, it will be found in
Behave like a
one of
wave.
those states. So in
Okay.
other words, magic yan eh. So
Mhm.
sabi nga ni Feynman, yung the act of yung measurement nagiging magic na kasi hindi mo na alam bakit nangyari yan, no? Probabilistic eh.
Yeah.
So that's the y- tapos yung isa naman is the multiverse, di ba? Sabi naman you ever read, actually ang nangyayari is um pupunta yan sa iba-ibang universe at dun yung computation ang nangyayari, no? Tapos nakukuha mo na lang yung result. So ngayon,
That's why it's missing. Parang we don't see it. It's not in our universe. Parang ganun.
oo, is that the universe.
Interesting.
Now ngayon, so in other words pala, yung quantum theory, either you believe in magic or you believe in the multiverse. So pili ka na.
At the moment. Sige, wait. Let's humor that. Kasi I think this is what gives the whole quantum subject. It both its mystery and it's also its attraction
Hmm.
to the common folk who are not into the math of it, for example. Kasi balik tayo dun sa point mo about it will break encryption or it can solve any problem or at least problems that will have taken forever can be solved now kasi nga it
Hmm.
goes into these other universes. As a practitioner, how do you approach that? Yung mga ganyang thoughts, no? And
O sige.
how do you manage it, no? Para we know what's really going on in the minds of mga
Okay.
quantum
Okay.
computing.
First of all, there are some things that we need to qualify, no? Kasi a quantum computer cannot solve all problems, no? Hindi siya silver bullet. And that's
Right.
really good, no? Kasi otherwise, wala nang secrets, no? Uh, Kasi lahat naman ng encryption natin is based on mathematics, no?
Yeah.
So kapag may mga mathematical problem that a quantum computer can just crack easily, so ibig sabihin, there's no more secrets we can keep, no? So fortunately, hindi niya kaya yung ibang problems, no? Um, it's just so turned out na yung ginagamit nating dalawang encryption, which is the elliptic curve and RSA, no, widely for so many years, kaya talaga niyang i-solve, no?
Kaya pala siya. Okay.
Kaya. So, super timing, no? Editor at isang algorithm lang kailangan mong gamitin to, no? Di ba? RSA is based on the hardness of factoring a number
Mm.
into composite number, very big composite number into its two prime factors. Tapos yung isa naman is mathematics on the elliptic curves. Ibig sabihin, geometric problem.
Mm.
Pero kung titingnan mo, number theory, geometric problem, pag titingnan mo pala sa taas, they have the same mathematical structure. That Shor's algorithm is able to solve efficiently. Kaya,
Can you elaborate on that? Yung Shor's algorithm, because
oo,
that has to do with factoring eh.
yes,
And
oo,
para lang people can understand bakit suddenly itong mga encryption suddenly is
oo,
point.
sige. Sige, itong Shor's algorithm is the algorithm that can crack the RSA, the elliptic curve, no? So it's a quantum algorithm. So ang ginagawa niya, so let us say, let's just na lang, no? Let's just focus muna sa RSA, no?
Sure.
Yung RSA kasi, in order for you to crack a number, uh, uh, to crack the RSA, no? You need to solve what is known as the period, no? Um, Meron kasing isang mathematical function called the modular exponentiation. Yung ano na yan, yung function na yan, pag nilagyan mo ng mga numbers from 0 up to, let us say, 2 raised to the 2048,
Mm.
ano yan, at some point, yung kanyang sagot, uulit, uulit, no? So para siyang periodic siya.
Like a repeating cycle or
Oo,
repeating series.
oo. So for example, no, let me give you an example. Kapag yung 13, dinivide mo by 5 and you only get the remainder. After
Mm.
some time, yung mga numbers na yan, uulit yan. Uulit, no? So, pag nakuha mo na yung pagkaulit-ulit na yan, makakrack mo na yung RSA. Ang problem lang is in order to compute the modular exponentiation from 1 up to 2 raised to the 2048, no, which actually very large number, no? It's a number which is
Huge
10
number.
raised to the
Yeah.
616.
Uh,
10 raised to the 616, no? Imagine, a billion is just 10 to the 13, di ba? Meron
Technically,
kang
yes.
10 to the 616. Ang laking number yan.
Mm.
Imagine if for loop mo yan sa classical computer mo, it would take, yun nga, 300 trillion years.
Yeah.
Pero ang quantum computer kasi, if you have 400 ano yun, 10 to the 24, so 2048-bit encryption, so you need 4096 qubits, no, logical qubits.
Yep.
Ang gagawin kasi niya, wala na siyang for loop eh. Isusolve niya agad, sabay-sabay yan.
So, all simultaneous kasi nga
Oo,
superposition. So,
oo,
okay.
tapos naka-superposition na yan, di ba? Gagamitan mo na lang yan yung tinatawag na Fourier transform, inverse Fourier transform, in order to find the period. Pag nakuha mo na, and there's a probability, kasi ano if I remember correctly, 4 over pi yung yung probability of success, di ba? So 4 over 4 4 over pi, i-invert mo yan, that's the probability of getting the first success. So yun yung so kaya
Which is
niya
actually
sabay-sabay.
technically quite high, no? In other words, kaya niyang gawin, no? Hindi
Oo,
siya
what is 4 over 5 No? Alam ko ano yun eh. 4 divided by pi na. 4 pi.
So
Basta
this
about
okay. The
about
the per, the
50%.
principle is factoring
Yeah.
large numbers because not okay, how much of it is because of the way the quantum algorithm of Shor, oh sorry, how much of it is because of the way Shor's algorithm is written, and how much of it is also because of kind of the quantum principles, no? Ito yung sinabi mo kanina, yung sabay-sabay na calculation.
Oo.
Kasi that's something na
It's
it just occurred to me.
okay. So how
We
much
don't
right
think
now?
in those terms masyado in classical computing nga.
Oo.
We tend to think in loops, we have to do
Tama.
something again and again. And then maybe that's the key to helping a lot of people unlock parang the quantum framework. No? How do you think in a quantum way?
Yeah. So, sa quantum computing kasi, when you solve problems like this, no, you you begin with your input. Yung input mo is yung qubits mo, di ba? So
Yeah,
for example, pag may 3 qubit ka, ang gagawin mo dyan is to generate all possible numbers. So how do you
yeah,
generate all possible numbers? That's through superposition. So maglalagay ka na tinatawag na Hadamard gate dyan. Tapos, i-generate niya from 0 up to 7 kasi 3 eh. How
mm,
many numbers can you, kapag may 3 qubits ka, so from 000 hanggang 111, di ba?
yeah,
Binary. So 111 is actually 7.
yeah.
Okay? So 7. So 0 to 7. So kapag i-extend mo yan, kapag meron kang 2048 qubits, no? Or then it will generate those numbers, no?
Huge numbers.
Oo.
Tama.
So many quantum states, no? Kaya nga, sabi nila, um, kaya nga, let me digress a little. Kaya nga, sabi nila, baka may iba talaga multiverse. Kasi the number of atoms in the universe is just, if I remember correctly, 10 to the 80, which is,
Right.
and, sorry, oh, tapos i-compare mo yan sa, ano, no? 2 raised to the 2048, medyo, ano, 2
Whether
raised to
there
the
are more
2048.
quantum states than there are atoms
Hmm,
in the universe. Parang
oo.
ganun comparison.
Tama, oo, tama. So saan mo ilalagay yung ibang computation mo kung walang ibang universe, no?
Right.
Pero yung born interpretation naman, meron din silang pangontra dyan. Sabi
Uh,
nila, yung mga ibang mga states na hindi probable, hindi na yan, ano, hindi na yan,
doesn't appear.
oh, oh,
Yan yung sinasabi nilang
doesn't
collapse.
exist.
You just collapse those
Oo,
things. They don't
oo.
exist. Okay.
So,
Interesting.
so actually, it's really, ano, exciting and it's also confusing, no? Kasi hanggang ngayon, people are still debating.
Alam mo nga,
Wala pa
napapanood ko nga
pala.
na although it's a different subject altogether, pero malimit nga magdebate yung lalo yung mga physicists, mga theoretical physicists.
Oo.
And of course, it's off topic na, pero another contentious topic is yung string theory, no? Maybe
Ah,
in another episode we'll talk about that, no?
iba
But
rin yun. Oo.
oo. Sige, can I ask one thing? So sure, that's the factoring. I heard about another one naman, yung Grover.
Yeah, Grovers. Okay.
And it has to do with it's close to my heart kasi apparently it can improve how databases can be used, no, or
Tama.
searched.
Oo.
Can you talk a bit about that? Ano ba itong Grover na to and
Okay.
how can you use it?
So Grover's algorithm is the algorithm na tinatawag na finding a needle in a haystack.
Right.
So imagine, no? Imagine na meron kang ano, meron kang telephone directory. A telephone
Mm.
directory has your name and your number, no? Tapos, usually, itong mga telephone directories na to, so, they are sorted, di ba? So, kapag hanapin mo yung number, ano yung number ni Doc Ligot? Madali lang. I'll just use the dictionary algorithm, no? Madali lang hanapin. Now, ngayon, so, assuming meron tayong telephone directory of 1 million people, no? 1 million, no? Actually, in the Philippines, we are about 100 million. No? So let's say 1 million lang. And in order to find the telephone directory of a person uh, in that 1 million, the telephone number, you only need a maximum, in the worst case, of about 20 comparisons na. Kasi naka, ano siya, naka binary search, kumbaga.
Mm.
Now, ngayon, pag binaligtad natin yung problem, ano pala yung, kaninong number pala to? who owns this number. Now ngayon, the only way for you to find that the owner of the number is by going through each entry one by one. The number, sino, number, sino. If you're very lucky, the first number is the person you're looking for, no? If you're
Tama
very
lang yan.
unlucky naman, yung pinaka-last, no? So ibig sabihin, 1 million entries yung kailangan mong titingnan bago mo mahanap yung number na yun. Worst case. Average case naman, mga 500,000. Pero a quantum computer can actually do it in just the square root of 1 million.
Of the time needed. Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
square root is 1,000. 1,000 comparisons lang. So isipin mo 500,000 or 1 million compared to 1,000. Ang bilis, no? Mabilis siya.
So
So,
the way you're talking about it, parang it's a way to augment classical
yes,
computing, no?
tama. Oo. Kasi may mga problems na sa classical computing kasi in order for you to find something efficiently, kailangan mo i-sort mo muna bago mo mahanap. But there are but there are but there are problems that hindi mo masort. Kasi hindi mo alam eh. Hindi mo alam yung mga numbers na hinahanap ano mo eh. Like for example, finding the kung hindi mo alam mismo yung laman ng database mo, no, how would you sort that, no?
Yeah.
Or let us say itong Grover's algorithm can even be used to find minimum values, no? So yun. Pag hindi mo alam yung mga yan, no? How would you find it? How would you
That's
sort
re-
it?
that, that's a very good application for any search, parang ganyan, no? Search related
Search related, oh.
na queries, no?
Oo, mabilis talaga siya. Kaya ito Grover's ang sabi nga yan, is Grover's database algorithm. So
Oo.
you can think of your data na sinesearch mo as your database.
Again, obviously my bias is on AI. Will quantum computing concepts, or is it already being used to enhance yung traditional machine learning naman, no?
Oo,
Mga
meron ng
regression
mga tinatawag
problems,
na quantum machine learning.
right?
Um, so ano siya, ang ginagamit niya is more of so for example, yung mga 'di ba may mga parameters tayo, 'di ba? Tapos itong mga parameters natin sa AI, these are the parameters na nasa neural network mo, 'di ba?
Hmm.
So ang analogy niyan sa quantum machine learning is yung mga qubits mo, yung mga parameters niyan are the rotation angles. So
Yeah.
niro-rotate mo yung yung tinatawag na Bloch sphere, no? So yung mga yung quantum state kasi is between 0 and 1, no? Zero dito, 1 dito, and it can be anything in between 0 and 1, and anything around it. Kaya sphere siya. Kaya
Hmm.
may dalawang angles yan, azimuthal angle and the other angle na niro-rotate mo yan. So that's how you input your parameters sa quantum machine learning. Now, ang ano lang dyan is since we only have a few qubits pa lang, no? Um, hindi
You
pa
mean the
siya,
machines?
oo, the machine, hindi pa siya useful kasi ngayon kailangan na rin ng billion of parameters, di ba? In
Hmm.
order to make it useful sa
Right.
LLM. No? Pero I just read recently, 2 days ago, na a paper na sa ano naman to sa Caltech, na Caltech is one of the premier universities in the US na.
Hmm.
So itong meron silang paper on how you can load uh, information in qubits in a very efficient way. Kasi imagine, no? Imagine na meron kang meron kang 50 50 molecule atom na. Tapos every molecule, sorry, 50 atom molecule. And every atom may dalawang state yan, no? 1 or 0. Up or down, ng spin niya. Now to keep track of the values of this of these spins, no? You need space, no? Isa-save mo siya sa memory, RAM. You need space of about 2 raised to the 50. 2
Right.
raised to the 50 is a very big amount of space, no? Petabytes na yan, petabytes.
Ubos ang hard disk mo.
Oo, ubos. Now ngayon, sa quantum computer, you only need 50
Oo
qubits.
nga.
O, di ba? So, logarithmic, sabihin natin exponential yung reduction.
Yung reduction.
Oo. Now ngayon, na ano nila na pwedeng gamitin yan sa AI, no? In order to load the data sets. So every time, for example, may streaming data ka, every data na nakukuha mo, i-rotate mo yung mga qubits mo. And that's how you prepare the state for further computation. But I still have to read that paper kasi
It's like parang it functions like a compression algorithm, parang ganun.
Parang
You're
ganun,
able-
oo. Parang ganun siya.
Okay. No, kasi malaking bagay 'yon, no. I'm obviously a big fan of compression, the way the concept. For example, mga auto-encoders in machine learning.
Oo.
And I think that was the root of all of these transformers. Transformers are also autoencoders.
Tama.
Yung their ability to compress a complex piece of information, kunyari text, into napakaliit na embeddings. And
Tama.
then now you're talking to these machines as if they were human. Ang tindi. So the reason why I'm bringing it up is there are many elements na you mentioned about the quantum computing frameworks or concepts that could lead to similar breakthroughs apart from the encryption and the search. Maybe yun
Tama.
yung
Oo.
fundamental building block. Pero in terms of application, ang dami, no?
Marami siya. In fact, the original reason why a quantum computer was even conceived, no? Kasi there's this physicist whose name is Richard Feynman. No? He's
Yeah.
actually very, very famous because
Pretty
he
famous guy.
invented the quantum electrodynamics.
Right.
Now ngayon, sabi niya, it's so hard to simulate chemical processes in our, sabihin natin physical processes, no? Quantum processes na nasa nature using our classical computer kasi sobrang
It's too
bagal.
expensive. Too expensive.
Too expensive. Sobrang bagal. So let us say, during that time, 1980s to eh. During that time, paano mo i-simulate using that hardware, no? So,
Yeah.
sobrang bagal. Sabi niya, kaya we need a different kind of computer.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
should be quantum, no? Kaya niyang i-simulate yung quantum din, no? So that's how quantum computing was born.
Mm.
So and because of that, no, yung one of the applications talaga ng quantum computing is in yung simulation of uh, chemical process, no, like quantum chemistry, drug discovery, no, simulation of imagine, no, imagine ito na this really interesting, no, kasi di ba we eat, di ba? We eat. So, ibig sabihin, aside from eating, being carnivorous, you also eat vegetables, di ba? Which we grow, no? Using fertilizers. Now, to have to generate a fertilizer, you need ammonia. So, you need to manufacture ammonia, which is a very expensive process, no? Yung tinatawag na Haber-Dash process. Very expensive. It needs a lot of resources, no, like electricity. Pero kung titingnan mo, may mga bacteria dyan sa plants that are able to generate ammonia without even having all of this large number of resources like electricity. No, they do it naturally, and it's all because there's a molecule there called nitrogenase na ginagamit nila, no? Parang catalyst siya to be able to generate the ammonia.
Yeah.
Pero hindi pa natin naintindihan yan, no? In order to understand how it works, we need to simulate it. Pero uh, hindi kaya ng supercomputers natin to simulate that molecule. So we are hoping that a quantum computer will be able to help. Yun yung promise, the promise of a quantum computer is be able to simulate this kind of molecules so that we will understand them. And once we understand them, we know how to produce them in large scale.
Okay, sige. So we've been talking a lot about the potential benefits, the algorithms. It's also fascinating. We definitely need a sequel, no? But
Mhm.
maybe on this last bit, can we talk about how do you get started, or how do you, participate in this world of quantum computing? Yung mga typical questions, do you need a physics degree or a PhD, mga ganyan? Do you need
Okay.
a big quantum computer sa bahay mo, assuming you can afford it, mga ganyan? Let's try to demystify that. No?
Okay, so yung sa ako, I just started, no. I think ang kailangan mo dito siguro, you don't need a physics degree, no. Kasi depende yan sa gusto mong gawin, no? If you want to build a quantum computer, yes, definitely, no. You want to understand the physics of the atom, no. You want to understand paano gumagana yung lahat. Um, Pero if you are, but the thing about quantum computing, it's a team sport kasi, no? So you still need data scientists, no? You still need um, programmers, no? So ano yun maraming iba-ibang persona. But if you want to get started, no, just to understand, no, or probably maybe to be able to do some programming, and of course not build a quantum computer, no. So ang gagawin mo, ang needed mo siguro diyan is first ano depende sa level, no, the depth that you want to achieve, no. um so for me, I was na may benefit lang ako because sa mathematics na nakuha ko dati, no, sa undergrad, no? So ibig sabihin, you need to have some mathematical maturity. Um, you must not be ano
Shouldn't
afraid,
be scared of numbers, parang
should be
ganun.
you should not be scared of notations pala, notations, no. Tapos you definitely, ngayon I'm talking from experience, no, kasi during that time wala pang ChatGPT. It was it was just pure pencil and paper, no. So kailangan mo lang na kumuha ng paper, kumuha ng pencil, and really do the mathematics, no. If you want to understand, no, the magic of quantum computing. Kasi pag sinabi ko na it can do this, you can either agree with me, you know, or you can further investigate. Bakit nga ba ngayon, no, to remove the magic, no? Kasi once something can be explained in math, then no, you can understand, no? So but if you are a high school student, you can start with basic concepts. No? So for example, elementary, yun yung mga project namin ngayon. So we want to go back, no? We have been building capacity sa faculty, no? May tatlong universities kami na tinrain on quantum computing. Aside from the lecture series namin which trains yung mga yung mga students and professionals, no? Pero ano na yan eh, gusto natin na mas maaga pa tayo, pupunta tayo sa elementary and high school para magiging ano na sila, quantum is part of their DNA ba? Hindi lang.
Or should this appeal to not just the mathematically inclined, but those who wanna program, mga
Yes,
programming,
yes,
no? Right.
definitely, no? And mas lalo na ngayon, no? I think it's easier to learn now kasi you can just use your AI, no? To help
Yeah.
explain. Yung AI ngayon can already prove theorems, di ba? Ang
Oo
gagaling
nga
ng
eh.
mga AI ngayon eh.
We have math proving math. Parang ganun ang dating.
Oo, di ba? So, if
So
you, if you
for
know,
just to give and we'll provide links siguro in our
uh,
in our show notes. Is there any parang mga kits or setup parang for programmers to get started? I heard
yes, yes,
there's this IBM Kiss kit. May mga ganun
Qiskit,
ba?
yes.
Are there others now you
Yeah,
recommend?
oo. So, merong IBM Qiskit, merong Google Circ, merong Amazon Bracket, merong Microsoft Q Sharp, no? At marami pang iba, marami pa. Sa SpinQ meron, tawag SpinKit.
Incidentally, are those the same tools you will be using in the hackathons? Or maybe describe a bit how the hackathon works, no?
Oh, okay. So ganito, no? There are different kinds of hackathons we deliver. The very first hackathons we deliver were more of you're given it's called a mathematical expression, and then you convert that into a circuit. So gagawa ka ng quantum circuit out of that. The other one naman is more of meron kang you think of problems that you want to solve, no? Like for example, SDG sa UN, and then you apply quantum algorithms, and then ano to more of a propose mo, no? So more of pitching competition. And yung bago naman namin ngayon is capture the flag, no? So it's meron kang
Parang cybersecurity ba yan? Capture.
cybersecurity ka talaga, you're a cybersecurity professional, and ang gagawin mo is you go inside the system and try to to crack it, no? And then may mga tools ka, like for example a quantum computer to be able to decrypt, no? Or run some password cracking algorithm, parang ganon. So yun
Will the participants have access to an actual quantum computer during the hackathon?
um ano um before siguro pwede, no? Ngayon simulated na lang kasi yung actual quantum computer is expensive, no? So for example 1 minute lang, no? 1 minute
I imagine, yeah.
is already $100.
$100 per minute, ang tindi.
Ah, pero yung minute na yan, ano yan, no? Sa computation time, no? So for example, if it takes 20 seconds to compute, 20 seconds na ibibil sa'yo. Tapos, sa hapon siguro, another 20 seconds. Basta kapag cumulative 1 minute, they will bill you, 5,000. Medyo mahal siya.
Yeah. Okay. Well, obviously bitin ang conversation. We need to do a sequel, but maybe as a rejoinder, final for now, no, words, maybe, reach out to people who are interested in this subject and how to get started.
Oo. By the way, no, ko lang yung kanina. Yung sa Shor's algorithm, the probability of success is 40%, no? So 40%. So yung 1/40, that's the number of times you will need to run the quantum computer to obtain the first success. So anyway,
That's still pretty high if you think about it,
it,
40%.
it's really
Diba?
high. Yeah.
Compared to yung presumed success rate under classical computing, which is
Oo,
0.00001
tama,
or something
tama.
like
Oh.
that.
So ngayon, so you were asking, no, if paano sila. Yeah, so I guess, no, this is a good opportunity for me to probably invite those who are watching and interested, no, to join the Quantum Computing Society of the Philippines. No? Um, we actually need volunteers because we are a volunteer-based organization. No? So lahat kami volunteers. No? Um, we give our time and energy, and in order to raise awareness about quantum computing sa Philippines. No? And from there,
It's a labor of love and passion.
labor of love, no? And we are just very happy that medyo napapansin na kami ng government. So that's really good, no? So and from there, yeah, you can have access to a lot of our network, no? Like for example, networks in schools. May network kami sa Southeast Asia, no? Which is called CQN, no? If you are really interested, no? May mga labs dun sa Thailand that they are willing to for you to use, no? If you want, no? So these are really very good neighbors of ours, no? So aside from the network in Southeast Asia, no, we also have network in Europe and the US, no? And we can, if you want to learn, no, you can be one of our quantum research fellow, no? If you want to research on something, no? So a mentor will be assigned to you.
Right.
Yeah, and also you can definitely, join our uh, yearly yearly quantum lecture series. No, so just this morning, I got a letter from the Asia Pacific College na
APC.
o APC na sa 2025 mag-partner daw kami on the quantum lecture series. No, so yun. Mas
Sige.
marami pa tayong ibang gagawin.
And then, of course, hopefully we'll see everyone during the quantum event this April.
Yeah, I'm really interested kasi dun sa quantum event natin, it's really a gathering of agencies, industry, and academe, no? Tapos mag-uusap-usap tayo about saan ba tayo magpo-position, how do we position ourselves in the quantum ecosystem, no? Now that it's still very, na pwede pang humabol, no? Hindi pa
Nascent.
tayo
It
late.
can be. Hindi pa tayo huli masyado. Yeah.
Oo.
Pero ganyan na naman tayo eh. I think we should really step it up, no? We were there, I mean, we gave up so many opportunities in the past for technologies, no? Big data, blockchain, even AI ngayon, we're slipping behind also. So sana sa quantum we can keep pace
Sana. Sana.
as usual.
Mm.
Sige, Sir Bobby, thank you
Sige,
very
thank you,
much
Doc Ivan.
for cracking literally cracking a glimpse at quantum computing. And we'll certainly have another episode to talk more about it. Yun lang the opportunity for a Shor algorithm or and a Grover algorithm. The applications, just thinking out loud, commercial applications can be massive, no? What more pa how it will enable other fields. You mentioned quantum chemistry. And daming opportunity.
Dami,
So,
oh.
thank
Quantum
you for
chemistry, even the logistics, no?
mm,
Even yung Airbus, no, is having a competition to design the wing of an airplane using quantum computing.
using quantum computing. Yun talaga eh. It's a massive augmentation of
Mm.
classical computing. Just like currently AI is already a massive augmentation of
Ang galing kasi
pretty
yung
much
AI
everything else.
is
Oh,
helping quantum computing. 'Di ba na yung Google announcement, 'di ba?
yeah.
That's possible kasi yung AI is already helping in
Yes.
uh, in reducing the number of resources.
Yeah.
And these are
Okay.
going to reinforce each other.
Yeah. Yan na siguro yung epitome of the fourth industrial revolution. Kasi people have been talking for IR for decades
Mm.
almost already, no? 2015 nga yung start, ngayon 2026 na. And parang at that time people didn't get it masyado. They just think, okay, it's just another enhancement of the internet. Pero nung lumabas yung AI, sabi ko, that's the first. Quantum is, soon to
Grabe,
follow.
oo.
This is really hyper computing na at a level na we never really understood.
Grabe,
Pero
oo.
there will be risks also. Yeah, pag-usapan din natin yan next
Pag-usapan
time.
natin yan, especially yung mga tinatawag na power wall,
Yeah,
consumption ng AI, which quantum can help.
could solve. It could solve, Okay. Sige. Till the next
Sige,
chat, Sir Bobby.
sige. Thank you, Doc Ligot.
You. Okay, so we'll cut it there. Uh, ang dami. Hindi nga natin napasadahan yung 10 question mo.
Oo, oo nga eh.
But that's fine. At least we set the preliminary. What I'll do, okay, when you download the file, you send it to me. I'll do snip the end, snip the start, upload ko na agad sa YouTube. And then over the next few months, I'll be releasing mga clips. Ganyan naman ang style ko eh. Kasi people normally watch on Facebook and LinkedIn siguro no more than 3 to 5 minutes at a time.
Oo.
Tayo, we've done more than an hour. So yung full conversation sa YouTube yan. Then I'll cut yung mga small snippets natin. Marami tayong napag-usapan And
Sige.
when people yun pala. Send me a list of the links you want me to put in the description.
Mm.
Kasi talagang pag may nakakapanood, people will look for it Ano ba? How do I learn more? Who do I contact? Pati yung, I don't know if you wanna share your LinkedIn profile or
Oh,
whatever,
wow. Okay, sige.
web, yung website ng ano mo, ng Quantum
Sige,
Society, pati
sige.
yung One Quantum. Ilagay na natin lahat doon.
Sige,
Gawin natin ng ano.
sige. Okay.
Okay, Sir Bobby, have a good
Sige.
Saturday. I'll see you next week, Thursday or Friday. I'll drop in for sure.
Oh, sige. Marami ka makakausap doon.
I'll hang out. I'll just eat the food. Saan ang venue natin ulit?
Doon sa DAP. Doon sa... Naalala mo
Second floor.
yung kung saan tayo nag-meet ni attorney?
Doon sa parang yung clubhouse sa taas. Doon ba yung
Yung
event?
sa
Hindi.
baba nun.
Sa baba. Oh. Yung
Oo.
parang conference room. Yung malaki.
Conference room.
Sige. I'll see you there. Malapit lang yun sa amin.
Sige, nagligot.
Okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend. Sige.